I want to do a quick video on what triggers you. What is your trigger? From Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26. Now, this post is not meant to pass judgment on any of the two brothers, but it is meant to be a teaching moment of scripture. However, watching what happened at the Oscars between Chris Rock and Will Smith reminded me of Ephesians 4, verse 26. Be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your wrath. It is always important to relate scriptures to reality, because scripture is not all about heaven, but also about our relationships here on earth. Hence, the idea that science's discovery is very important, because we have mostly found out that science is confirming what the Bible has always taught. Some psychologists have researched that as your anger rises, so does your IQ go down. So as your anger rises, your IQ goes down. To me, that means that no matter how high your IQ is, once you lose control of your anger, your IQ becomes low. This is why your behavior goes out of character when you lose control of your anger. Hence the need to always know what triggers you as to avoid it. And then the biblical injunction to not let the sun go down on your anger. So what does Ephesians 4:26 actually mean? It says, be angry and do not. Let's read it from verse 25. Therefore, putting away lying, let each of you speak truth with his neighbor, for we are members of one body, of one another. Verse 26, be angry and do not sin, and do not let the sun go down on your wrath, nor give place to the devil. Verse 27 says, nor give place to the devil. Everything is not about the devil. So I'm going to leave out verse 27. I want to lay emphasis on verse 26. Be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your anger. Now, what does Paul mean here? Paul is referring to two things, two basic principles here. That anger is not necessarily wrong. Anger itself is not a sin. Christ, we see from the scriptures that Christ at the time was angry. God also himself expressed anger in Exodus chapter 4, verse 14. We also see that of Christ in John chapter 2, verses 13 to 17. Number two, that uncontrolled anger quickly leads to doing wrong. Being angry is not an excuse to sin. Self-control is required to channel our anger in order that we can honor God. So there are two things there. Anger on its own is not necessarily sin, but self-control, uncontrolled anger can lead to sin. The summary of this gist is that there is always strength in walking away, in not escalating matters, and being the bigger person. I'll repeat that. There is always strength in walking away, in not escalating matters, and being the bigger person. Thank you for listening. God bless you.